We've been given the 74 degrees, and to be able to convert those into measurements, ratio measurements, we need to use our calculator. So at some point because our calculator doesn't give us exact values, we're going to need decimals. So to calculate the sine, cos, tan, I'm just going to go right ahead and use my sine and cos, tan functions on my calculator. So I'm going to go sine of 74 is going to give me 0.961. So that's my sine ratio, 0.961. My cosine ratio, I'm going to get 0.276 when I round that. Okay, and then for my tan ratio, I'm going to get a slope of 3.487. Okay. Now we've been given the y coordinate of 22. To calculate the different parts now, I have a ratio here these are all length, related to length measurements. So at this point I don't need my calculator to convert between angle and ratio anymore. I can just use these terms and say this. So I know that the sine ratio, sine of 74 degrees, is going to give me 22 over the radius, and I know that sine ratio is 0.961. So solving for the radius, I just do 22 divided, I'm going to cross multiply this and do 22 divided by 0.961, and I end up with 22 I'm going to round that to 9, whatever those units are. So 22.9 represents the radius. Solving for x, I can do the same thing. Okay, so solving for x, I'm going to set ratio with an x in it, so I'm going to use a cosine ratio in this case. So I'm going to say, I'll use a tan ratio. So we'll do tan of 74 degrees is equal to 3.487, and that ratio is equal to 22 over x. Solving for x, we can just cross multiply again, so we do 22 divided by 3.487, and I get x is equal to 6.31. Okay, so 6.31 represents my x value, and that looks about right. If I look at the measurements here, the hypotenuse or radius is 22.9, the x value is 6.31, and that's going to give me the shape of about 74 degrees.